Normally, we specialize in selling our U.S. home value reports to homeowners and real estate investors to aid them in their preliminary decision-making process regarding buying and selling residential property. But in this video, we're actually going to show you how to perform your own version of a U.S. home value report called a comparative market analysis, or CMA. You won't need to buy anything because we'll show you some of the tricks on how to get a reasonable value with publicly available information from any one of your favorite real estate websites. So go ahead, grab a calculator, and let's do some math. Now, we've got to be honest, when we perform an analysis of a subject property for our clients, it gets very complicated and it's very proprietary. So don't get discouraged. You're going to see what we mean when you start to consider so many different variables on a property. So what we're going to do is give you a simplified approach so you, as a homeowner or home buyer, can determine a reasonable market value. It's no secret that we sell reports, so our service is always available if you wish to use it, but this video is to see if we can get you to do it on your own. So let's begin with the very first step. This is your subject property. You've got to research it first, and here's what you need to know: the living area square footage and the lot size. That's it. But what about the number of rooms? Well, values aren't determined by the number of rooms unless the property really has some peculiar characteristics. So yes, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home can be the same value as a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's actually very common. So what about the amenities and features then? Well, one step at a time, because after you calculate the initial value, you can then go back to add or subtract based upon any notable characteristics of other properties, like the property's age, pool, no pool, recent renovations, and so on. So let's get you to perform the basic calculations first, and then you can go back and refine them accordingly. After you get the living area square footage and the lot size, you now need to do the same for 3 to 5 comparable properties, but also include their sales price. These are properties that are known as comps, and they are approximately the same size and age that have sold in the past 3 months and are located within a mile radius of the subject property. For less active markets, you can extend the radius and the time frame for your search. So if you need to, you can go out 2 miles, and if necessary, you can go back 6 months or longer depending upon the conditions of your local market. Just note, calculations become more complex when you have to go back further in time because then you have to adjust for appreciation. For example, a property that sold a year ago for $300,000 in a market that's appreciated 20% in the past 12 months would then need to have its sales price adjusted to $360,000. Again, like we said, it can get very complex, but you'll at least have a better idea about the value of your subject property than what many popular real estate websites will post as estimated values. So let's continue. Now that you've got all your numbers, here's how you perform a basic comparative market analysis. For our example in this video, we will use one subject property with 3 comparable sales that have recently sold, so we're not going to complicate matters with several adjustments for appreciation and the endless list of other variables like pools, recent updates, and so on. Otherwise, this relatively short exercise could turn into a semester-long class. So our subject property has 2,340 square feet and it sits on 1/4 acre. Our comparable sales, and we'll just refer to them as comps here on out, have the following characteristics. Comp 1 is 2,199 square feet on 24/100ths of an acre, just shy of 1/4 acre, that recently sold for $540,000. Comp 2 is 1,978 square feet on a 27/100th of an acre lot that sold for $520,000. And Comp 3 3 is 2,149 square feet on a 26/100th of an acre lot that sold for $502,000. Starting with comp 1, let's determine the cost per square foot. You can easily do this by dividing the sales price of $540,000 by its living area of 2,199 square feet. This will give us an approximate $246 per square foot. Comp 2's cost per square foot would be $520,000 divided by 1,978 square feet, which is approximately $263 per square foot. Finally, Comp 3's cost per square foot would be $502,000 divided by 2,149 square feet, which is approximately $234 per square foot. So which one do you use? Well, that's going to depend on how similar any of those properties are to your subject property. If you find Comp 2 exhibits the same age, updates, and amenities, and is basically the twin sister of your subject property, well then by all means use that cost per square foot. However, if you are unsure and haven't seen interior photos or seen any agent notes, then it's best to average the three comps together by adding all of the prices per square foot and then divide them by 3. So this would give you an average cost per square foot of $248. Then you would take that cost per square foot of $248 and multiply it by the living area of your subject property, which in our example was 2,340 square feet. So that would give us an estimated value of $580,000 for a subject property. Once again, this is a very simplified version of a comparative market analysis. You can always add so many other variables into the equation and make adjustments along the way between comps based on age, lot size, and various amenities. Fortunately, in our example, the lot sizes are all within a reasonable range, so we didn't have to worry about making adjustments. Performing these calculations can get quite complicated, but you should at least understand the basics of the CMA game and how to get yourself in the ballpark of estimating your subject property's value. Always remember, if you decide performing a comparative market analysis is just too time-consuming or difficult of a task, you can always contact a local real estate professional for assistance. They will often provide a free report, or you can order a U.S. home value report by simply visiting ushomevalue.com.